Okay, so this verse, I just lost it. So this verse 24, it's just a summary of what we said before, because we have all very good hearts. We try to help, we try to be of benefit, but Pema Chodron says, so here's a summary of how we allow ourselves to be misled by other people in favorable circumstances. It is not wise to want to satisfy worldly desires, ours or those of others, because even you help somebody else to get healthy, or why they want to be healthy for, to have more pleasure and to create more attachment and to create more negativities and this and that. So, oh, it's your computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's verse 25, and so now, he's still in the monastery, most probably, and so he kind of makes himself worked up about where he wants to go. So what you can also, in your own mind, you look, I need to go into solitude. Where? How should it look? Again, in a very realistic way. What's my possibility? Where should it be? This and that. So then, of course, this is easy to understand. We don't have to talk much about it. It's like in woodlands, haunt of stag and bird amongst the trees where no dissension jars. It's there I would keep pleasant company when might I be off to make my dwelling here, there. So if this is the area around Nalanda Monastery in India. So there used to be, still now, some huge jungles there, huge forests where nobody was there, just animals, lots of animals, tigers even, tigers, snakes, deer, birds, and it was very pleasant unless it was monsoon, or unless it was just before the monsoon. It's very pleasant in these forests because there is shadow and there's always a little bit of a breeze. I like that. So that's what it's not, that is a monastery of, 5,000, 10,000 monks or something like that. So there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of activity. Anybody has been to the monasteries in the South India with 5,000 monks. Yeah, Neta?
Just visited.
Huh?
Just visited.
Yeah, is it a very quiet place?
Why not? I looked for a Mom.
In the night when they are doing debate and when they come out of the class, is it quiet? No. No way. Everybody's running and bustling and this and that. So you looked for vegetable momos?
It was only meat.
Yeah.
It was surprising.
Yeah, but I think not anymore. When was that?
20. Maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah. All of a sudden there was no more meat. Lama Zopa is kind of feeding the monks in Sera with his money from the Dana, with his funds, 10,000 monks in Sera, to give them proper vegetarian food. So, but they love meat. What can we do? It's like, people also, they ask me, why do the Tibetans eat so much meat? I don't know. You ask them, don't ask me. It's like, and they love it. What can we do? I also like meat. I don't eat it because of the animals. I also like meat. But I feel with the fish, really fish I don't like anymore at all. Just smelling it. So I'm still waiting for the meat to go that way. Because, I eat what I am given. So sometimes people give me meat and then I eat it, but I feel that I like it. So it's like, I'm not saying, oh, no. It's like, I eat it not just because I have a vow to eat what I am given, but also I like it. So now please, I shouldn't say these things because now you start making meat. Don't, okay? I'm not running after you. It's okay. But yeah, so how would your retreat place look? You have to think. So Tenzin Zopa in his commentary, Tenzin Zopa, he says, after renouncing the company of worldly beings, remember that not associating with childish people does not mean abandoning them from your heart. and prayers. So you should rely on a qualified teacher, meaning especially if you're going to a long retreat, and I'm talking about months here, not just 10 days, even 10 days. Ask your guru, how should I structure my day? Because in your retreat, I can tell from experience, maybe somebody can tell me something different, it is not blissful all the time. It can be very difficult. If you're alone and it's difficult and you make the decision to go, you give up very quickly. If you have the advice of a teacher, of a guru, you think, okay, there must be some benefit. I also see where it is, but I'll stay. Can also be ego-centered because you don't want to go and tell your guru, oh, I couldn't do it, I finished after 3 days. You don't want to do that. So that kind of arrogance can be helpful. So you see, the energies from these so-called delusions, they're just energies. We can use them for something good. That's what you do in Tantra, by the way. Yeah. So, like I saw also Putso, you know. The first time he really started to grab his spoon and started to eat himself was his birthday cake, because his mom took it away from him. She thought that's enough. And he took the plate back, and it's the first time that he started taking the spoon and eating for himself. Attachment can be good. So don't throw. You know, for us, when we have it, try to use it in a beneficial way. So rely on a qualified teacher means you go and ask for advice. What shall I do? Is it the right time, the right thing to do? Very often you can also ask what place, but then you have to go there. Learn the unmistaken techniques of meditation. So know how to meditate before you go into solitary retreat. Go to a conducive place for meditation like the forest or cave, especially places where holy beings have been. Anybody has seen this film? What was it called? Gilgul, Kulkul, something like that? Yeah. Did you see the place where he's, you know, it's Tenzin Zopa from this commentary here, and he's looking for the guru who has died, and he's looking for the baby, for the reincarnated one. It's a very beautiful film. So then he goes to the cave where his guru was meditating for years and years and years and years. Will you be able to live there? Maybe not, but try out first. If it is a place like this that is so blessed, because somebody else has meditated there, you might all of a sudden feel something like, wow, it has an influence if we do it where it has been done before. There are these energies, whether we like it or not, you know. So this is why they always say, try to find a place where the water is good, where it's healthy, you know, not much war around, not much conflict around, and where people have meditated before, because it does influence. But he continues to say that the superior place not with wild animals, because otherwise it's dangerous, not be distracted by the discrimination of others towards you, so that you can cultivate a peaceful mind. If one is not able to go to a cave, one's own house can also be used as a meditation place. Where possible, invite relics to one's altar if you have, to feel the presence of the Buddha, not just statues, but something that has been left behind by the Buddhas if you have. So of course, you know, Geshe Lama Koncho's room in Kopan is full of his relics. And again, you know, I'm definitely not into these things. I wasn't. Then when Geshe, I was very much also, I loved Geshe Lama Koncho. He was my first teacher in Kopan, and Tenzin Zopa was the one who was looking for him, was like a little boy. So when he died, when Geshe Lama Koncho died, then he manifested all these relics in the fire. It's like little white balls, and you know, it's down, there's a tar up here, you know, this. So they collected the relics and they put them in stupas. It's containers made out of glass. Some of these relics were brought to Bodh Gaya, and they were at Root Institute, or and then they made an exhibition of them, because it's like they want people to have contact with these relics. So so since I'm not into these things, and some other people are, so we were asked, monks and nuns, to carry them down to where the exhibition was, from the main house. And Geshe Lama Lodrop at that time also kind of passed away. He calls me and says, "Here, you take this." And I said, "Geshe Lama, it's okay, you know, it's like, to give it to somebody like this. Give it to somebody who believes in these things." He said, "You take it." Okay, I take it, and without any expectation, something, I don't know what, but I thought, oh. It was like, I felt something. I can't say what, but I felt something, okay? Then this relic tour, and I speak 4 European languages. They were touring in Europe, so of course they asked me, "Can you come along and do the meditations, because we don't need to find somebody all the time, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Hey, but this is the time." I didn't make any appointments to do retreat, or I can't remember, holiday, or what I wanted to do. And I said, "Oh, come on, you know, it would be so easier for us," because also I liked the people very much. It was Victoria and Victoria who were going with the relic tour, and Donna, I think. So I said, "Yeah, okay." Oh, I tell you, it was the best holiday I've ever had. To be 2 weeks with these relics, just to sit there Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, just to sit there from time to time, lead a meditation, hold the relics, put it on people's heads. I felt so peaceful. By themselves. I didn't have to do anything. I felt so open and so loving, and of course then they faded away, but like, wow. And you can see people come to these exhibitions. They don't even know what it is. They say, "Oh, we saw this and we wonder what it is." They sit down, they don't want to go away again. We have to throw people out in the evening. So, do they do something to your mind? I think so, even if you're not open. But maybe not to everybody also. Don't expect, you know, we have the relics here in Vitanaharon. People say, "I didn't feel anything." I say, "Yeah, possible."
Where?
Huh?
Where?
Oh, many years ago.
No, where?
Huh?
Whereabouts? You said something?
In Bitan Aharon. So they gave us the, but they're not there anymore. Yeah, it's a hotel, or it's a wedding place or something. 3 very kind women who, they were so happy having them. And they gave us, you know, for everybody who came, soup, coffee, tea, biscuits. At the end of the retreat, because it was cautious, so we had to very quickly finish. So all the fruits that were on the altar, put in a blender, made wonderful smoothie. That's very nice. Yeah, and then it was in Enapso also, and in Jerusalem. In Jerusalem I was not here anymore. So anyway, if you have relics, invite them, or put them there when you meditate. It could help. I'm not saying for sure it helps, but it could help. Where possible, invite relics to one's altar. Make an altar. You know, I mean, have the Buddha image before you, so you invite it. Make waterable offerings. If you don't know how to do them, I can explain if you come to the Bodhisattva retreat or to Nesam or the Nunes or whatever. Avoid mixing with childish friends so as not to influence your mind towards worldly activities. If space permits, have a room in your house which only you use for prayers and meditation. I know that some of you have. Do you find it helpful for those who have to have your own space?
Yes.
Definitely, isn't it? Yeah. If it's possible, of course, you know, you can't say, "No, this is my room, you're not going there." Don't go like this. But if it's possible. For the concentration practitioner, one should be more disciplined about the number of people one interacts with. So during that time you're in retreat, even you have to go out from time to time. You go shopping somewhere where nobody knows you if you have to go shop yourself, or you ask somebody else to shop for you. That's the best, because you meet people in the street, what are you going to say? "Oh, I don't want to talk to you because I'm on retreat," and you know, how are they going to feel inspired by that? So one may be busy with ordinary life now, but pray that there will come a time where one has the conditions to do perfect practice. So we can do it now. So then again, it just continues with this eulogy of, like, you know, kind of the retreat place. When shall I depart to make my home in cave? This we have had, yeah? In cave or empty shrine or under a spreading tree, it's 26. Within my breast, a free, unfettered heart which never turns to cast a backward glance. I think my translation is from this Padma Samskara group. There's a few people together. It's much more poetic than that one. I think it's in the when shall I do to well places to come to as mine which are by name. But again, this is better because when do I leave the thing that is mine? This is very poetic, but this is more to the point. Okay. And you know, they say, now I'm not saying I'm a pure practitioner, okay? But what is happening to me at the moment is amazing. People feed me, give me rooms, give me this, give me that, give me a ride, happily. So they say if you practice, how is it going? If you cannot come down, like practice in a cave, if you cannot come down from the mountain to get your noodles for your tukpa, you know, the Tibetan noodle soup, the noodles will come rolling up the hill. So there you go. Okay, 28. So what we can do is also for us, you know, not to decorate your house to again more and more and this and that. Good enough, you know, to have a mind with worldly stuff, clothes, house, car, computers, good enough. Not always wanting the newest thing and the best thing. If, in case you saw my computer, it's a totally new Mac Air book, or I don't know how it's called. Somebody gave it to me. So I would not have gone out to buy that. Even if I can afford it, but I thought, you know, the other one had a Acer or something, it's good enough. But then the Acer has gone to a refugee family where the kids need a computer to do schooling, you know, to be in school. So it's good to have good, because it was still okay, it's only 2 years old. So it's good to have good things so you can give away good things. Yeah, so again, I could have sold it also, but I didn't want to. I wanted to give it away because I got this one. When might I be free of fear without the need to hide from anyone, with just a begging bowl and few belongings, dressed in garments coveted by none? Home office. Did you do home office? Anybody? Home office? Yeah, with the computer too? Were you always dressed impeccably? Did you put a lot of effort into being dressed impeccable, makeup? Yeah. Pyjama trousers up to here, you know, if it's too low down, I have to. That's it. That's what he says. I don't have to worry about people thinking, what is she wearing? What is it? It gives us a lot of freedom. I'm not saying home office and Zoom is good. I'm not saying that. And the attitude here, that's exactly that. Not much time spent on making yourself beautiful. It's the first time I bring it, but it's exactly that, you know. When might I be free of fear without the need to hide from anyone? Or like to need to look a certain way, with just a begging bowl and few belongings, dressed in garments coveted by none. Nobody would want your pyjama pants, but somebody might want your blouse. So, simple food, simple housing, that's the best. Then, now, death is coming. So he is, you know, he says, okay, then I go there, and then I feel very comfortable and very blissful. And I don't really want to kind of maybe do just meditation and study, to do shamatha and vipassana, because just doing shamatha while you're sitting in meditation is very blissful. But you haven't found the route yet to get out of samsara. So then he needs again to think about death, so that no attachment kind of arises to this body, and also that he keeps going and not just sit in this blissful state. And going to the charnel ground, when shall I compare my body with the dry bones there, so soon to fall to nothing all alike? So kind of he's going back to the attachment to his own body, because now he's alone. So that's a very common Buddhist meditation, which they do especially in the Pali tradition. Yeah, Satipatthana. You go to the charnel ground. Of course now you can't because everybody's on your knees, so you can't open graves and say, oh,
There's a lot of visualization instructions.
yeah, but I tell you, you see a human skull is much more effective than the visualization. So what they did, because sometimes if people didn't have money to buy wood to get burned, so they would just throw the bodies out in the charnel ground. No cremation ground, the charnel ground, and then so you would see the bodies in different stages. From just being dead and still looking fresh, because at the beginning, for a few hours, the body still looks okay. And then to blowing up. This is as far as I have seen. Liquids coming out of the body. I've been sitting next to a body like this. And it's okay. I was waiting for the panic to come. I was waiting for the disgust to come. Nothing happened. I was just sitting there.
The smell?
Hmm?
The smell?
Yes.
The smell?
The smell I had in my nose for at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
These eyes that were about to pop out. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw that face. But while I was sitting there, nothing happened. I didn't even feel like running away. It was okay. But the smell, wow, would stay. So that's... This body here will look the same if it's not burnt quickly or put underneath the ground. If you open the ground, that's what you will see. Yeah? So that's the next stage. Then the next stage when the flesh starts to get off the bones, and then the bones with the little flesh. I think it's 9 stages or something. And then at the end it's just the bones, and then it's the bones kind of going to dust. They say it's very powerful to get rid of the attachment to our own body. I think it's good we work with this now to become aware. One point, this mind has to separate from this body so that you don't identify with the body, so that it will not be difficult, so you're not going to be clinging to your body. Okay. This form of mind, this very flesh, is soon to give out such a stench, because as Luna was saying, what about the smell? That even jackals won't come close to it, for that indeed is all its destiny.
You write focuses.
Here's a focus, okay. Not even the foxes. I think it's more jackals because foxes are not sure. Yeah, but it's so bad that not even those will come. The fox will come while it's still fresh. We have a fox that comes to the house where the cats are because it's so remote and close to the forest. He's almost tame. You could give him like this, he would come. But we don't because other people comes into the house. And he's afraid of the cats. So it's like, but he comes, claims his food from the compost. We're careful that we put things there that's not harmful for him. He loves old bread. He's a vegetarian fox, he never gets any meat. So when Bea needs to go to a party or something, she has kind of social worker, she gets meat, she puts it for the fox, so they must be very happy. Anyway, so this body now so whole and integral. Yeah, well now we look at it, it's no disgust. Absolutely none. Even, oh wow, so sometimes I thought the other day, it's true, because now I live in an area where there's also a lot of sun in Switzerland, otherwise usually when I come here I'm all white. And I thought sometimes so nice. It looks as if it's kind of, then I see, as I said yesterday, all the fat I got here with this blubbering tire I got around my waist, and I thought, oh, this one. So this flesh and bones that life has knit together will drift apart, disintegrate, and how much more will friend depart from friend? Again, not even the friends we can keep, not even the minds will stay together, kind of thing. Alone we're born, and alone we come into the world, and when we die, alone we pass away. For no one shares our fate, and none of our suffering, so what are they to me, such friends, and all their hindrances. This is tough, right? But that's Shantideva's sister. He sees that I want enlightenment really quickly because I have developed bodhicitta in the 3rd chapter here, but I'm being kept by things that will fall apart. So, how does it make you feel when you hear these things? Huh?
Not so nice.
How about, you just make the aspiration, in my next life, no family, no children, no this, no that. No friends even. We long for friendships, isn't it? We invest a lot in friendship. We're nobody if nobody loves us. And then what? Corona. Who suffered the most? All those people have lots of contact. All those people who only find happiness when they see others. I tell you, most of the Dharma practitioners, all of us have felt guilty. All of us we say, I don't suffer, I'm happy. But we could see all these others, the young people who fell into depression, the grandmothers who couldn't see the grandchildren, those were the worst. The parents who were stuck at home with the kids, home office, school in home. How was it, Netta? It was okay.
They're big.
They're big
They
now.
were young, it was big night.
Yeah. It was so difficult. Families, then you get nervous, you become aggressive towards the children who are also nervous and aggressive. Like, wow. Alone? I was alone in the sanctuary. Zoom? Great, I didn't have to make tea, put out biscuits that they didn't eat anyway because they're very spoiled. Blah, 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 just Zoom, we did the thing, tack, kind of finished the session already, but finished. But it's much nicer to meet, of course, because there's attachment. So don't get, don't feel bad about having friends. Don't feel bad about having family. But try to see, that this longing for friends, it doesn't give us lasting happiness. This longing for family or being with family doesn't give us lasting happiness. That's all he's trying to tell us.
Anila,
Yes.
it's still, I feel something is, because being with other people, like, you need the people to perfect, to resist perfection, to practice all the generosity and all that, but then it's also widening ourselves just from being me and I, me and
Yeah.
him. Something is being with other people, not only from attachment,
Not necessarily.
but also
I'm going to cut you. Not necessarily. Otherwise, everybody who has a lot of people around them has an open heart. It's not like this.
No.
Yeah.
Not that.
It could. Yes, it could. But for that, you have to be already realized to then not bring up your attachment or your aversion. And you go there in order to come back realized. How much harm is being done to each other in this human world? How much harm? By humans to humans. Huh? A lot. Why? Because that opening heart being together, it doesn't come spontaneously. Yeah? So, you see, he's not saying, I'm going there forever. Why is he going there? Why does he want to go there?
Make peace with it.
Huh?
Make peace with it.
To?
Make peace with it.
To have a mind that realizes emptiness, to come back as a Buddha. To come back like somebody like the Dalai Lama, where he can influence thousands of people. Not to stay there and be peaceful. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is this is an intermediate state.
I don't have problem. with
Look,
that.
I give you a good example. Tenzin Palmo. You think these 12 years in the cave that she spent was a waste of time?
No.
Why is she the way she is? Exactly. Why is she the only nun who is called by the Tibetan